Okay, so the project for today is to install a new AC unit. And today we have a fan here in this spot. There's a fan like this, so a nice new modern fan back in the back. And there's what I think is an original fan up front. And the previous owner was fine having 3 fans, but we would really like to have an AC unit. And so the plan is to take out this fan, and there's a notch here, and I suspect that there is some wiring from an original AC unit that was in this spot. The previous owner had said that they didn't have any need for air conditioning, and so they took it out so that it would not add weight and wind resistance, and put in the fan instead. But I think by taking out this fan, I'll be able to have all of the wiring and everything I need to install an AC unit right here. So I'm going to take this fan out, we'll install the AC unit, and then I'm going to move this fan up to the front where that original fan is, because the original fan just has an on-off switch, where this one has thermostat and other kind of nice features. So we'll have a modern fan here, one in the back, and the air conditioning unit. So the AC unit that we got is a Coleman Mach 15, so it's a 15,000 BTU air conditioning unit. And some people have 2 air conditioning units. I felt like 1 would be plenty for us. We live in the Northwest US, and so we don't have a lot of really hot weather. But it gets hot sometimes, and certainly inside of the coach here with all the windows, we'd like to have at least some AC. We ordered the air conditioning unit back in July, and when it finally arrived, the first one was damaged, and so fortunately the seller shipped us another one, but that took a month to get here. And so now we're in October, and we just got a good looking AC unit. And so even though we're not going to use it anymore this year, and it's kind of late to be doing a project like this, I want to get it done so I don't have to store an AC unit all winter, and we'll be ready to go next year. All right, so this might be the hardest part of the whole project, which is getting the AC unit up on the roof. And I've seen lots of different techniques for this. Some people have used 2 ladders and multiple people to carry it up. Some people have used like a sled and ropes and pulleys and things to pull it up a ladder. Some people have used a forklift. I don't really have any of those things. And so I think I can pick it up and kind of carefully carry it up the ladder and have my 14-year-old kind of receive it at the top. It's kind of awkward. It's pretty heavy. I think it weighs about 100 pounds. And I want to be really careful not to damage the seals or cushioning or anything on the bottom, because that's what keeps it watertight to the roof. So we're going to try to pick it up and carefully carry it up, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay. I like this one. Wow.
Okay, can you get it?
What lift?
That lift there.
Wait, what? Oh, lift? Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, what's happening?
pick it up.
Pick it up.
Yeah, lift it up. There we go. Okay, right there. Okay, now tip it down slowly. Set it on the roof.
Oh, this is bent.
You know what, this one.
Come on, man. What did it get caught on?
It was the metal. All right.
It wasn't that hard.
We made it, and it looks okay. All right, so I have cleaned up the silicone on the top of the roof that was supposedly sealing the fan in, and It's all ready and prepped, and I'm going to move the air conditioning unit over and position it over the hole. I'll be able to adjust it a little bit from the inside as I do the wiring and bolt it down and things. But I just want to carefully move it over so I don't mess up any of the seals or anything on the bottom of the unit. Okay, so I want to make a disclaimer about how I hauled the air conditioner up to the roof. So the ladder's gone, but carrying it up there like that by myself was kind of dangerous. It went okay, but I could have very easily lost my balance, dropped the air conditioner on the ground, fallen off the ladder. It was good to have somebody up on top to receive it, but I think there's got to be better ways to do that. I would not recommend just grabbing it like I did and hauling it up the ladder, because lots of things that can go wrong when you're hauling something that bulky and awkward and heavy. All right, so working on the inside. So we got the AC unit up on the roof and everything looked good. I came in and lined up the seal with the opening that I have. This opening is about 14 and a half or 14 and a quarter by the same distance, so a little over 14 in each dimension. But I got the AC unit all lined up. I was able to shift it a little bit by just moving it here on the inside. And then I put some aluminum tape along here because the metal cross members that support this have some holes in them, and there were holes around where the wires come out and things like that, and I wanted to seal all of that up so that we were getting all of the air to come down into the coach and the return air to go up into the air conditioner. And we've got the DC wire that was going to the old fan wrapped up and capped off so it won't short out, and we'll just be able to put that up inside here. We do have a bit of a problem with the 120 volt power. Where the electrical box is for the air conditioning unit, this is not long enough, and so I'm going to need to figure out a solution there. I think I may be able to put a little electrical box right up here to make another connection. So I'll work on that in a minute, but the thing that we're going to do now is basically tighten down the AC unit. So this bracket fits right up into the hole, and I got all of these screws started, so they are ready to screw in. And because they're so long, I'm going to go a little bit quicker here. I will tighten them down to the right torque in a minute. Just getting them up tight, or kind of close here. All right. And now I'll use a socket, but I'll make sure everything is positioned correctly, and I'll use a socket to cinch this down, and it'll need to compress this seal to the roof on the outside to make a good seal so that it's watertight. So that's what I'll work on next. All right, so we have got it tightened down, and the installation here is looking really good. I mentioned a minute ago that our power wire coming in was too short to get into the electrical box and be able to get wired to the AC unit. And so I had to install an electrical box here to make a connection to that original wiring and extend the wire out so that I can wire into the electrical box. We've got the power or the control cables here, and we've got this boot that brings the cold air down to the diffuser area here. And so this is about to get mounted up here. So that's the next step. And then we will attach this boot, trim it off a little bit, do the wiring here, and then it'll be ready to be tested. Okay, we got it done. I've got everything wired. I got the cover installed. When I did the wiring and hooked everything up, it didn't work. And so I traced out the wiring, and it turns out when they took out the old air conditioning unit, they disconnected the wires in the circuit breaker box. And so I reconnected those and then tested it, and I was getting power there to the outlet. And so closed all that up, finished it all up, and put the cover on. We're on shore power right now, and so we'll see if when we turn this on, it will work on shore power. It works.